Well, I don't know if you guys heard the big news or not, but they're finally making a Civic Type R and a sedan. Oh, here we got one right there. Oh, wait. No, just some jackass put a sticker on a regular car. Oh, well, that's a clever sticker. Haha, clickbaited your ass. No, they do not have a 2019 Civic Type R. This is my Civic Type car. It's not a Type R. It's just a EXT sedan. But I got that sticker on the back that I made because it's clever, right? Admit it. Okay. And if you too would like to have a sticker like that on your car because you want to be like me, because why wouldn't you? I will put a link in the description to my Etsy store. That sticker, another sticker, shirts like this, hoodies like this, all for sale. Buy one by August 31st and you're entered to win shifter base bushings by Acuity or a rear motor mount filled with ADA polyurethane. Choice is yours. I'll pick 2 winners. First winner chooses, second winner doesn't. They just get what's left over. You get sloppy seconds. So, on to the video. Basically, I want to talk about the 19 Civic. Today, they released information on the refresh. And I got the article right here so I can kind of go point by point, just so I don't forget anything. They added a sport trim that is in between the LX and the EX. And at first, I was kind of pissed, thinking, damn it, that's probably what I would have wanted. But sadly, it's not. I'm not really a huge fan of anything that they did as far as the refresh. So the sport trim has really nothing that the sport hatchback has. You do get the full gloss black grille. I'm going to show you a picture in a second, though, that confuses me at least, because while that's sort of special, it's not as special. Because on the Civic sedans and coupes and everything, the base models, you get a flat black lower plastic piece and then chrome upper center and eyebrows. The hatchback and the SI get the full meal deal in gloss black. Now, looking at one of these pictures, it's got LED headlights, so I assume it is not a sport because the picture of the sport shows halogen headlights. But if you notice, gloss black, center upper, and eyebrows, but flat black lower. So it looks like every Civic might get a gloss black upper treatment, but only the sport gets the gloss black lower. So it's not as distinguished. Like, you could just drive by both real quick and just be like, black, black, they're the same. On the rear end, the sport doesn't get the exhaust like the sport hatch with the 2 tips. Basically it gets the SI exhaust for the most part. However, it doesn't look like there's an exhaust cut out in the bumper and it's tucked up in there nicely. It looks like it's an afterthought where underneath the bumper they added another piece, some kind of like a aftermarket diffuser, splitter, whatever, aero kit with the exhaust in that. It's hard to tell because I can't zoom into the pictures because when I do they get all distorted, so I can't really get a good close-up. Maybe if it was on my computer I could. But either way, I'm not the fan of that, and looking at comments, people have said they're not a fan that their SI exhaust got jacked and put on this sport. Another thing they don't really appreciate too much is the front end. They kind of made it look like, well, like a 9th gen Civic for one, but it's like they took the base model and the SI and picked a medium point. Like my base model, I have that fake grille that's kind of profiled with the bumper. It's curved around it and it's small. Then you go to the SI or the hatchbacks and you got that big one that's just like, it's basically flat and just sticking right there. It's not radiused with the bumper. Well, this time it's like they took the SI one, shrunk it more to a base model size, but they left it flat. And then when you know, they got rid of the chrome from your grille, but they couldn't let you have no chrome, so they put it back down by the fog lights now. So, to the window trim. Do you remember what the Sport and the Sport Touring hatchbacks have that the base models don't? blacked out window trim. So Honda knew sport buyers are the kind of people that are going to want blacked out window trim. But on the sedan and coupe sport, they did not do that. So people with their sedan and coupe base models can't get OEM Honda parts to black out their windows, which we couldn't have already, so nobody was hoping that was the case. But when you announce a sport sedan, you might think like, oh man, I'm going to get that window trim, put it on my car. No, you're not. So the other things that round out the sport is it gets 18-inch wheels now. Drop my phone. So now here's word for word. It says, where'd it go? The sport trim features a high revving 2-liter 16-valve dual overhead cam VTEC engine. Is there another version of that K20C now, or is it going to be the same 2-liter? Because by no means is 6700 a high revving 2-liter. When you had an S2000 with a 9,000 RPM redline, high revving 2-liter. You had K20s that their redline was like 8,400. 6,700, that cannot be the high revving 2-liter. So it doesn't say all new though. And I would assume if it was going to be all new, they would have no shame of saying the all new. Well, that wouldn't be all new. It would just be possibly slightly new. But if you give it a new code, I mean, it's basically all new. So revised. They could have said revised, and they didn't. It just says sport trim features a high revving 2-liter. So we'll see if it's the same 2-liter that's in everything else. They probably wouldn't want to upgrade it though, because then it would take even more of the SI sales away, because people would be like, oh, I already got like the exhaust, I got the 18s, I got the black grill, I got the sport designation. Why get the SI? Now on to, oh, also you get the like the sport hatchback, you get the cheap stereo. The sport coupe and sedan, you get Android Auto, and it's supposedly updated. I've heard that you're gonna have a volume button or switch or something, but not a knob. We'll see what actually happens with that. So now on to Honda Sensing. Honda Sensing, they say 2022 all vehicles will have it. So here's what's confusing. It says on the 19 Civic and sedan coupe from LX to Touring will have Honda Sensing. Price wise, the SI falls in there, but if you look at the model range on Honda's website, there's Civic Coupe and Civic Sedan, then there's Civic SI. So it's almost like Honda puts the Civic SI as its own model, not necessarily a trim level of the Civic, even though it is. So I feel that right there does not say that the SI is going to have sensing. But at the bottom of this whole thing talking about sensing, for the 19 model year, Honda Sensing is standard or available equipment on all Honda car and light truck nameplates. So again, I believe that just because sensing is available on a Civic, that covers it being available on all nameplates. It doesn't say all trim levels or all models of all nameplates. So yet again, I think the Civic Si is, at least they have the ability of not putting it in the Si and following what they say. So I'm going to say it's not in the Si, because otherwise they would just say all Civics. They wouldn't put trim levels or anything in there. They would just say all Civics, excluding Type R maybe, or whatever. So I don't think the Si is going to have Touring myself. Sensing myself is what I mean. But we will see on that as well. Getting further down, yet again, there's mention of the mysterious Civic's 1.5 liter VTEC. The Civic doesn't have a 1.5 liter VTEC. Does it for 2019? I doubt it, but you never know. The Accord has it now, so maybe it will. There's not really much more to talk about, except for it looks like the halogen and the LED headlights have both been updated. I can't tell from the pictures what's different, but so also as far as wheels go, the Sport gets 18s, the Touring now gets 18s, which the 18s and the Touring and the Sport Coupe and Sedan look a lot to me like the sport wheels on the Sport hatchbacks, which also look a lot like the SI wheels. I think I would have to put them side by side, but in my mind, I swear they're the same wheel aside from the finish. Maybe they're not, but they look a lot alike, I think. I'm going to actually look it up and put a picture of one after the other real quick so you can see. Hopefully I'm correct. I'll look them up, and maybe I'll be way wrong, but I swear they're pretty damn close. So the wheels are, as I just said, Touring its 18s now. Headlights are updated, and then also the Sports Sedan gets a deck lid spoiler. All right, well, anyways, there you go. There's some updates for the 19 Civic that's coming out. I don't know when it's going to hit a dealer. You may have already read this article and you know everything I just said, and have already formed your own opinions. That's just how I feel about what they've done so far. Pretty much everything done, big deal. The 18s and the Touring is cool, like, because, I mean, I don't know for sure. I have a feeling more of the customers that buy the Touring are the people that buy the car and leave it alone. Like, a lot of times I've noticed a lot of times older people that are buying the top of the line model and they just drive it. So they might not even give a crap about 18s, but if they're the kind of people that don't touch the car at all and they're looking at the Touring Civic versus something else, they still might think it looks a little better and will go with the Honda. But it also makes 18s more plentiful for people who like to upgrade their car but stick with OEM parts. So now if you buy an LX, Touring wheels might be cheap because they'll be the Sport and the Touring and the other Sport and whatever that are all people are going aftermarket and selling their stock wheels. The value might drop on the used market, and now the LX guy can cheaply upgrade to 18s, keep Honda, and look good. Anyways, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and I will talk to you guys later.